What is going on? How are y'all doing? All right. I am live from Houston, Texas, here to answer any of your questions. And folks, today's question is, can my military spouse sponsor me for immigration, aka for residency, for resident status? Some people call it green card. It's not entirely green anymore. But anyway, folks, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, helping you solve your immigration problem and maybe even prevent it from happening in the first place. Folks, welcome. It's been a minute. Sorry, usually I have it at 12 o'clock Central Time, but we have a lot more meetings recently and just getting folks ready to keep their status or get it in the first place. So today's topic is, can my military spouse sponsor me for immigration? Folks, if by the way, if you are not familiar with our channel, welcome to greencardguys.tv. We do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion, maybe just point you in the right direction. If you call in, that's really the best way to speak with someone on our team. Yeah, you could DM us on Instagram or something. That's possible too. Um, but a lot of people have questions about even H-1B right now. Let's say you're a student, let's say you're about to graduate, and you're wondering, well, how do I go about even talking to an employer? We offer tips on that too. It's not as difficult as you might think, especially these days. Post-pandemic, employers are definitely looking to hire. They're looking for people to help them, right? So they want to, but we're also have videos to share with employers on things to know about H-1B, temporary work visa, and things to watch out for the gaps and possible gaps in status, things like that. Hey, how's it going? Triple R Health Tech LLC. I'm doing good. How are y'all doing? All right, but happy to answer questions about that H-1B. But today's topic for now, to get started, is about military. You have a spouse who's a military member, and it doesn't actually have to be a spouse. It can be a different family member. Okay. Now, I want to share with you what I'm looking at for this, and the main benefit. Okay. All right, the main benefit of having a family member who is in the military, okay, is so that you don't have to leave the country. You don't have to leave, most likely, you don't have to leave the United States to get your green card. And the reason that is, okay, folks, the reason that is because there's something called parole in place, military parole in place. So you might not have heard of this. Some people talk about it after the fact. Hey, Triple R, yes, I'm an attorney. You can check us out on greencardguys.com or .com. Alrighty. So let me see, find that page. So you can go through something called parole in place. Military parole in place. And this is typically for people who are already, of course, inside the United States. This is not for someone outside the United States. All right. Because the benefit here is that you don't have to leave the United States to get your residency. Okay. So the 131, some people, wonder, well, do I have to file which step first? It can be the PIP, can be first, parole in place with the local field office with USCIS, or it can be to what's it called? The petition. But it may be, we usually recommend to just do the parole in place first with the local field office. Hey, Triple R Health Tech, you do that? Okay. I don't know. I don't typically handle medical records, but that's maybe if it's related to like immigration court removal proceedings. But anyway, so the main question here that people have about this is, if it's not, maybe you don't have a spouse who's a U.S. citizen, No, buddy. No, sir, ma'am, I don't have any medical records for you to review. Sorry, I'm not a PI law firm. Um, but that would be better to ask in a direct message. Okay. Anyways, that's interesting. Interesting angle there. So it doesn't have to be a spouse. It could be your child, adult child, who's now has U.S. citizen and in the military. Now, it also doesn't have to be someone who a family member who's currently in the military or like active duty. It can be someone who's in reserve. Okay, so that is allowed. All right. So again, the main benefit here is that you don't have to leave the United States for the interview abroad, which can save you a lot of headache. Because if you did not realize this, the default way, if you enter the United States without a visa, legal entry, or even parole, then you would have to go back outside the United States. But you need to find out with a lawyer if you're eligible for a waiver. We call it family unity waiver. Okay. So that's why if you are, so that's a default pathway to apply for a waiver so that the government can say, yes, approved. Okay. Now you can go and have your interview scheduled abroad. Let's say it's in Mexico. So your country of nationality is Mexico. So the location will be Ciudad Juarez, then schedule the interview there. But some people don't even know about having to need a waiver in the first place. Or some people know that they need a waiver, but then they're like wondering, well, is there an exception? We call it exception. So maybe that's possible. So we start to ask these questions. We call it golden ticket because obviously you can get, I wouldn't call it fast way, but you can save some time and save some money possibly. Okay. Because having an attorney to prepare you for the waiver application, that process, everything involved does take more time. So more time, more steps, cost more money. So if there's a way we can review your case, hey, in that free 15 minutes, we're happy to do that, point you in the right direction. Make sure you're doing it the right way, essentially, or picking the right plan, the right path. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. So the next couple things is that military spouse. Thank you so much for your service. First of all, for anyone who is in the military or served in the past, but you might be wondering, well, is there a way I can help my parent? Because you've gone through all the service and now you finally have a chance to think about it. Of course, maybe you were so busy, obviously, during active duty, and now you have a chance to think, I'm a U.S. citizen. I've been in the military before, honorably discharged, and now is there a way to help my parent? Because maybe back then, maybe like 10 years ago, you're thinking, oh, my mom or my dad is trying to get status through their second husband, spouse, and that didn't work out. So now you're thinking, okay, maybe I can help them, right? So maybe through you is not the first option, but now that you have some time, you're here in the U.S. Not to say that you have to be in the reserve or off duty per se. It could be in any scenario. If you've served in the military or you're currently serving, all right? Because a lot of people think they have no chances, that they have to go abroad or they're not eligible for waiver, but you may have a adult son or daughter who's in the military. So thank goodness the U.S. military opened up to be more flexible and allow any gender to be in the military. But if you have a negative experience, I'm always interested to learn about it, despite what it says in the news. So by the way, if you have any, if you've just joining on now, but you've received some positive value from our conversations or just from these videos going live, please, if you don't mind, hit the heart button, smash the hearts and hit the likes. And if you have a moment, just like a few seconds, go to reviewtinglaw.com and share your thoughts, share your experience. All right. We have great news today, actually. If I could take a moment to share with y'all, is that I just had a client that got their visa issued. I love talking about this because a lot of people have their cases delayed, whether it's here in the United States or it could be someone abroad, whether it's, waiting for marriage visa or fiance visa. So just this morning, We got news, wonderful news that a client got their fiance visa after I believe. Let me pull it up if I can real quick. Um, Let me type in the name. I believe they filed filed the first step fiance visa. Great, my voice is cracking. Okay, my computer's being a little bit slow, but yeah, it's been a couple years from an interview date. Okay, and they finally got the visa. Now you might be wondering, well, that's strange. They already had the interview, or I'm about to have the interview myself. What should I expect? Unfortunately, you have to expect the worst, okay? Because you want to just put out there in the interview anything that you think they need. First of all, right? Bring the extra information, maybe information that you already provided before. Just have it ready at the interview because, and especially the DS 5535 form, because they tend to ask you to fill that out after the interview. And then let's say you do fill it out. It's crickets. 1 week goes by, 1 month goes by, 1 year goes by, and 2 years go by. You're like, what the hell? It's time to call Team Law Group, the immigration problem solvers. And I know it sounds silly, and it sounds silly that you have to sue the government to get your visa or get your resident status or become a citizen. People have been delayed even for citizenship. And so, despite what you think that President Biden and the Democratic Party want to push cases along, it's not always about them, okay? I'm not saying that they're perfect. There are definitely a lot of negative things. In my opinion, it's regardless of party, but it tends to be the Republican Party that do more horrible things. But that doesn't mean the Democratic Party is scot-free, okay? You just have to understand politics. This way, I've been doing this for a long time, so I know how, despite what presidents say, I do believe President Biden has changed several things in the administration as executive branch to benefit benefit immigrants, but there are some things that have been a little bit dicey, okay, especially about his new asylum program that's still in the works. Okay, so long story short, positive outcome today, and we're very fortunate that they both agreed to get this thing going, okay? Because a lot of people say, man, John, I've been waiting 2+ years. This is pretty freaking ridiculous. Just cursing up a storm. We get it. You've been waiting a long time. But then we tell you what the game plan is. We tell you the solution, the worst case scenario solution, and the last option is the mandamus lawsuit. So we have a lot of people who have contacted us, and we have a lot of people that contacted us and they hired, and a lot of people that contacted us and did not hire, and they're just waiting. And they realize after they called us back and said, John, I'm still fed up. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And so we understand life happens, things get in the way, but look, legal status is important, but you got to take action on it. You got to act as if it's urgent, as if it's emergency room situation. Can't wait on it, folks. I have more stories to share, but you can't take life for granted, okay? You can't allow the government to stop your life, essentially, because they didn't want to provide the visa. And so don't assume that the government is going to give you your status in a timely manner. And even if they do something timely, they may not issue it. They might just say visa refusal, denied. We've received calls like this that you think on paper, yeah, or even to speak with a couple lawyers, whether you did it on yourself or not, that, yeah, it should have been approved. And you're thinking, what the hell? What else can I do to turn this around? Okay. There are ways. Okay. Just because the government denies you does not mean you have to give up. Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to pay some more money, but you need legal status. I would think. I'm very, privileged in the sense that I was born in America and I have certain things I can do. Like, let's say I am convicted of a crime, then I don't have to worry about being deported. Okay. Or not that would happen, but, I've had a couple of traffic tickets, but yeah, let's say I'm speeding 20 miles over on a highway. You're expected to get arrested if you get pulled over, right? If that happens, then I have no fear of getting transferred over to immigration, right? So there's all these things, whether it's about your case delayed or not, or you haven't even filed your case to begin with for residency, y'all got to take some action, okay? A lot of folks are eligible and you're just waiting. Now, again, it doesn't have to be with us. We would be honored if you even decide to chat with us. We'll be honored for you to think about us. But I just hope that, because I really, when we chat with people, not just me, but with my premier immigration attorneys on a team, is that they say they come out of consultation like, yeah, they're gung ho, they're ready to start, and then 1 year later we find out they call us back and say, oh, or their family member calls or spouse calls, says, oh, so and so, my spouse was put in detention center. And I said, what the hell happened? You know, so you just never know what could happen. Um, I have more stories to share, but yeah, we just want to share that positive note. Um, on that. Hey, Jasmine Cruz. Yes, we do accept clients from other states. Thank you so much for asking. Do we have any updates on DACA in terms of, I guess you mean for accepting new applicants? As far as I know, so far it's been pretty quiet on the DACA front, but absolutely, if we hear anything different, where when they start accepting new applicants, we'll definitely let you know in the live shows. But if you want to join, if anyone wants to join our email newsletter, you're welcome to do that. Probably the best way at this point is to go to our website, greencardguys.com, and click on any of the free guides down below, which I meant to share before that I can share on YouTube and Facebook, is that we do have free guides, okay, right there they can check out. Free guides, and there's several options. Most popular one, as you can imagine, is suing the government. And the most common question people have about that is, will my case be denied if I sue the government? Number one, I wouldn't suggest suing the government if you, for some reason, we thought it'd be like an automatic denial just because of the lawsuit. We can't promise the outcome, but for the most part, very, very high percentage, it results in a positive outcome. Again, as a disclaimer, because of my state ethics require me to say this, I can't promise any outcomes for you. We'll have to chat about your case one-on-one. All right. But yeah, Jasmine, we can accept clients from other states. And yeah, we do have consultations on the video conference. We use Dialpad, where we show our face. We don't hide our face. Camera's on. All right. So you can see us. You can verify us on Google and all that, our state bar. But you said you're a DACA recipient. Okay, great. I'm glad you have that. You have a U.S. citizen son who's 21. You need advice on what to do from the petition you. Okay. Well, number one, congratulations on you having DACA and you having children, and they've grown up to be 21. That's amazing. I have two little ones. And boy, they've been sick. And now I feel like I'm sick. Goodness gracious. If you are a parent and you're watching, please smash the heart so you to tell me you're a parent, or at least you understand. Maybe your uncle or aunt, you understand about these little kids and the sickness. Hopefully your kids are not sick right now. But yeah, so 21 years old and he's a U.S. citizen. He can file a petition for you. Now, the key thing here is just verifying if, Jasmine, if you entered America with a visa or not. You don't have to share that online, but you can send us a DM and we can respond to you directly. Different scenarios like that. Okay. And I also see that Catherine just joined. Okay, I thought I had a question there. But yeah, the key thing here, Jasmine, is determining whether you need to file a waiver application. If so, because maybe your son's a U.S. citizen, or he is, but if it turns out you didn't enter with a visa at all, then you need a waiver, but then you need to be eligible for the waiver. So that's the key thing. Some people say like, oh, I know I need a waiver, but then you haven't verified if you're eligible for it. All right. So we can go into that later on, or maybe on a DM, or you can take a quiz for the free 15 minutes. Shako Funes, your mother has an asylum case since 1992. She got TPS. It's any way she can fight her asylum case and get a resident card. So when you say fight her asylum case, I don't know if that means denied. It sounds like it means it was denied before, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you're still on, Shako, because that's a long time ago. almost 30 years ago. My goodness, 30 years. I mean, that'd be crazy. 30 years, and they're still waiting on the interview. But I would not be surprised. Okay, great, Jasmine. Look forward to it. But yeah, Shaco, if in the scenario that your mom did have the asylum interview and it was denied, it probably very, very difficult to overturn that. But yeah, you can send us a DM and we can set you up with an appointment. We can figure that out and get your mom on the call too. Appreciate you. That's so nice of you thinking about your mom. You guys are so nice thinking about your family members, your cousins, primas. All right, I got some comments on YouTube here. Good afternoon, Ano. Good afternoon, CD. CD, you got the visa this morning, but when I read the error, you went immediately to the embassy to deposit the airport to rectify it. Oh, so glad you got it, because I do recognize your name. You probably mentioned a problem before. The mistake is on country of birth. My goodness, they got the country of birth wrong. How is that even freaking possible? That sounds so annoying. Sorry that you had to go through that. And now embassy sent you the DS 5535 again. Can you help me out? I'm not sure that you need my help, see, but you're welcome to give us a call because it sounds like the mistake was just this morning. And you already got you got the visa. It's just wrong information. I don't know that you need my help, but you're welcome to call in. All right. You might be fine, fill it out correctly, of course, tell the truth. Hopefully you have nothing to hide and just submit it back by email or however they requested it, typically by email. All right. Like that's how we are, folks. If there's a way that my cares team, the people you speak with when you first call in, and if they're able to help you, I've trained them. So I don't, we always tell people just like when you talk to a court, the people you talk to there, they're not allowed to give you legal advice. But of course, if what's it called? If you need the actual legal advice, then yeah, we'll help you. They'll help you schedule a consultation. Depending on the scenario, we unfortunately don't do this anymore. We don't allow free consultation for everyone. It really depends on your situation, because sometimes when we email a free guide, that usually should be able to resolve your question, maybe. But sometimes I know you want like a back and forth and answering questions, and we get it. So then we're happy to chat with you. So it just depends on the situation. All right, Shri Max TV. How long does it take to get a labor certification? Freaking forever. I mean, I don't think any law firm sued on this situation. I would love to do that. So if you hear other lawyers doing this, suing because the labor certification is taking too long with the Department of Labor, let me know. We need to team up. It's ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous how long the government's taking everything. Yeah, I mean, you would think, man, it's just I don't want to say rubber stamping. They need to verify things, but it should not take like 8+ months for labor certification. So that's what's troubling with everyone's case, right? Because if you let's say you come here on parole, humanitarian parole, especially recently, the newest program is valid for 2 years, parole status, and you're able to get EB residency through your employer company, and you're able to stay here and get a green card. That's great. But the things that take the longest with the EB process, some people call it PERM, is that the labor certification. So because it takes so freaking long, a lot more people have asked us, if they qualify for something like national interest waiver. And it is a difficult standard, higher standard, as you could imagine, because you could skip like more than half the process in terms of timing. But yeah, some people are eligible, but it just depends. All right, so we're happy to take a look. Take a look at your file. I mean, it's not free to take a look at your file to do preliminary review. It does cost money. So, which, folks, speaking of, I know this is probably a strange question to ask, but I'm always interested. Let's just say, like, if you were to hire an immigration lawyer, and maybe you have considered it or before, I'm taking a poll here. You don't have to share it right here in the comments, but maybe like a DM us. Let's say someone gets married to a U.S. citizen. I'm always curious what people think it would cost to hire a lawyer, because we really put in a lot of attention to our customer service. So you would actually hear from us. Okay, we would try to we try our best to be proactive and you hear from us before you even ask us a question, in terms of like after you sign up, authorize us to guide you from start to finish. Um, because some people end up, sometimes bad stories. They hire another lawyer, or they try to do it them. Well, maybe they do it themselves. It's fine, but you hire another lawyer to say, "Oh, well, they're a lot cheaper." Well, what can you have to really think about what kind of service are you getting with that? And sometimes it's kind of crazy, but I'm not surprised. Sometimes we get calls back from people that have called us a year before, 2 years before, even 3 years before, and some people say, "Damn it, John, I should have listened to y'all. I should have listened." You gotta go with your gut, folks. Don't go with your gut. Okay, think about it. Don't go with the dollar sign only. Okay, because if you only think about a dollar sign, if you're gonna hire someone that knows how to do it. Okay. So, and I'm trying not to generalize for everyone, but you may have heard like people like have family members that try to file for them. And let's say the family member is a lawyer, but the family member, like, let's just call him Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob really wants to help you out. He understands English, language barrier aside. Maybe he's a lawyer. He doesn't do anything with immigration. But I think that's a lot of assumption that people make, like, oh, this other law firm is cheaper. But then we ask, well, we check them online, but they don't have immigration experience. They don't even put it online. So you might want to check that. So there's so many things that we offer that I think people don't realize as a benefit until they suffer and spend too much money and essentially waste money, and then hopefully not a legal problem, but some people are in a legal problem in their legal status predicament. So aside, things like we timely update people. Okay, we timely update clients, for the most part, same day, if not the same hour, if we receive some kind of update. We're so fast that recently I can remember I called a client. He's up in Chicago. The case took about a year. The interview was waived before he had told us that when we received the email notification about status update several months before, that he received it. Right? He told us that. So I was thinking, okay, he's going to receive this other email notice. He didn't get it. I called him and said, "Hey, buddy, congratulations." He's like, "About what?" "Your interview's been waived. You've been approved without an interview for marriage, green card." Okay. And so this is in January. This is early on when the Biden administration started doing this. So, and I say that's a testament to our team and our proven checklist to help you from start to finish. A lot of the work is in the beginning and a lot of work is at the end. But at the end of the day, throughout the case, we update you. If anything, things to expect, things that the USCIS is ridiculous about, help you with expedite requests if it qualifies for that. So you really have to think about that. So if you're chatting with another law firm, look, more the merrier. I mentor other immigration attorneys or just attorneys in general, or people who want to go to law school. We have a high school intern, a college intern. So we're really thorough. We want to help the pipeline of future lawyers, okay, to help y'all. I know I'm not going to be on this planet that long. I mean, I hope for a longer time, but we're here to train up lawyers. Okay, I'm not just doing it, for the sake of doing this kind of work. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. It's very important to us. That principle guides us every day, especially if we have a bad day, we get a bad information from the government or even from the client who's not as responsive with documents. We just keep that in mind. We're here to help people, okay? Guide you to live and work in America legally. Very, very important. Anu, you're sharing that. Again, if y'all have any questions, please drop in the comment section because I got a jet very soon. But Anu, you've shared that you had a nice experience hiring attorneys. Either they're straight on face and they have no solution. Bad news bears, what I call it, or if they said they have delivered success. Yeah, not everyone does everything. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, if you talk to a lawyer and they look at the website, you say criminal defense or traffic ticket, yeah, that probably means they don't focus on immigration. Might want to consider that. So, and even within immigration, there's so many areas, right? So we get that question a lot. Have you done this before? Yes, right. We're very upfront. If there's a certain scenario that we have not done before, I'd like to share that out front. Wow. I need to take a breath. Okay, well, I just want to share that today. The topic was, can my military spouse sponsor me for immigration? And if they do have military status from the past or currently, it is possible. It could be your spouse or an adult son or daughter, for example. Okay, so give us a call if you have any questions. We have a preliminary 15 minutes for free. You got to take a quiz. Go to greencardguys.com. Okay, folks, until next time, talk to you soon. Take care.